Okay, in this video, what I will do is I will create your part 12 and also I will assemble this voice. To start the process, I'm going to go on the top plane and I'm going to look normal to it and I'm going to click on sketch. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a rectangle and I'm going to do a center rectangle and I'm going to keep the center right at the origin. And my units are going to be IPS and I'm going to add the dimensions for this one as follows. So this dimension is supposed to be 7.25. This dimension is supposed to be 2.75. I click that and then I'm going to go to the feature tab and I'm going to extrude this by 1.75 inches, and which is already set. So this has been created. I'm going to save this file as Vise base. So this is done, and now what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to select the this face and I'm going to look normal too, and I'm going to add another sketch on there. On this face I'm going to click on sketch and I'm going to select the corner rectangle this time and I'm going to draw a sketch like that, and I'm going to add the dimensions from this edge to this edge. I'm going to specify this dimension as 1.25. Please make sure your dimensions are as defined in the lab manual. This dimension is supposed to be 5 inches. So once this is done, my sketch is underdefined because I need to basically bring this one here, drag it and drop it there. So this must coincide with that. So now the sketch is fully defined and I'm just going to rotate the model so you can have a look what needs to be done. And I'm basically going to make a cut. I'm going to go to extruded cut, and the depth of this cut is supposed to be 1.75. So I have entered the dimensions incorrectly for the previous one, but I'm going to click OK. I'm going to click OK there. So this is the part that I'm coming up with because I did not specify the proper dimension for the boss extrude, which I'm going to just fix right here. This dimension is supposed to be 3.3125. 3.3125. I had just misread that dimension. So this is how the part actually will look like. So this is the beauty of SolidWorks or other parametric software packages where you can go and make the changes on the go. So this is done, and now I will move on to the next uh, part to this. So for that one, I'm going to select this face and I'm going to look, simply press the space bar and I'm looking at this face and I'm just going to double check. Yes, this is what I want to look at. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a sketch on this face. To draw the sketch, I'm going to create a center line so I can line up this somewhere in the middle as soon as I detect that indicator, and I'm going to basically press escape key. And now I'm going to draw the sketch profile. I'm going to do the half sketch only, and I'm going to draw a vertical line, horizontal line, and I'm going to come down here and I'm going to basically come and leave it there. I'm going to mirror this one on the other side to create the entire sketch profile. So the dimensions I'm going to add is going to be half of the dimension that I need. So this is supposed to be 1.252 divided by 2. And this one is supposed to be 1.002 divided by 2. So that's done, and from here to here the dimension is supposed to be 1.0 0.63, and I'm gonna click OK to that. From here to here, the dimension is supposed to be 1.68. Alright, so the sketch is fully defined. Now I'm going to mirror it around the center line. To do that, I'm going to click on Mirror Entities. I'm going to select this line, this line, this line, this line, this line, and I'm going to mirror about this center line. So that's done. And now I'm going to go to the features, and I'm going to make extruded cut, and I'm going to select through all. So this is done, and now I'm going to select this face, and I'm going to look normal too. And now I'm going to add a sketch profile on the top. To do that, I'm going to click on the sketch, and basically in here I'm going to draw a line there, and I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to drop somewhere there, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And I'm going to move it here. So basically, I'm going to press and hold Control key. These two, I'm going to make them equal. And I'm going to enter the dimensions. To add the dimensions, I'm going to select this one and this one. This dimension is supposed to be 1.125. I'm going to click OK. And same thing on this side, 1.125. And that's done. And now I'm simply gonna draw a tangent arc there, and that's done. And I am going to add the dimension for this one, and this is supposed to be it's 0.688. That's supposed to be the radius. Okay, so the sketch is fully defined, and I can make the cut. So I'm gonna go to the feature tab, and I'm gonna select extruded cut, and basically I'm gonna enter the depth of the cut. Simply I'm gonna select here up to next and click OK and see what happens. So as you can see, it has removed the material up to this edge. Alright, so this is done, and the next step is I'm gonna select this face, look normal too, and I'm gonna add a circle there, a 2D sketch on that face. It's basically a circle. I'm gonna line up somewhere there, and I'm gonna drop it there. The diameter, I'm gonna enter some dimensions now. The diameter for this one is 0.625. I'm gonna click OK. And the dimension that I'm gonna enter the center line to this edge, it's supposed to be 1.375, which is already at that position. And from this to the escape, I have already sent. I'm gonna select this and this edge. Yes. So this dimension is supposed to be 0.063. As you can see, it has shifted up. And I'm gonna click OK, and now I'm gonna cut a hole through the sketch is fully defined, I'm going to go to features, and I'm going to select an extruded cut, and I'm going to specify simply up to next. So it's going to basically create a hole there. So this is done, and now I'm going to add the tabs which are on the side. And to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the plane or the face that I want to draw the sketch on. And I'm just going to, this is the top plane I'm going to select, and I'm going to look normal to. And I'm going to go to sketch tab, and I'm going to select a corner rectangle, and I'm going to select this edge, and I'm going to draw something like that. And and I'm going to add some dimensions. This one is supposed to be 1.5. This one is supposed to be 1. So that's that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to basically create that sketch profile in there in the middle there. To do that, I'm basically going to draw a center line so that I know where to create. Escape, and I am simply going to add a line here, and I'm just going to go across here, and I'm going to drop down there, and I will enter the dimensions anyway. So in here, I'm going to add the dimension on this side. This is supposed to be yeah. Okay, I don't have a dimension on this image, so okay, I'm simply going to add 0.5 here. And I'm going to do is I'm going to do a tangent arc basically from there to there. Okay, oops. And I'm going to go trim entities. I'm going to basically trim this. I'm going to trim that. And I'm going to select, get rid of that. I'm going to select this point, press and hold my control key, and select this. I'm going to make them coincident. And I'm going to add the dimension for this fillet radius. It's supposed to be R.1. So that's where it shifts everything in there. And I'm going to trim this line. I'm going to trim this line. Okay. So basically that's what I need. Is this. I'm going to leave this one as 0.5. You can change it if you want. And I'm going to exit this, and I'm going to extrude it by 0.5 inches. And I'm going to go to feature tab, and I'm going to extrude, and this dimension I'm going to specify as 0.5. Okay, so this is basically is added like that. I'm just going to double check. Yes, 0.5 inches is the um, the dimension. And the next what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this one along here. I could do it, I could add the fillets here and jump to the steps, but I will add the fillets at the end. It's okay, I can select all of them at once. So basically what I'm going to do is I am going to use a linear pattern, and I'm going to select this edge, and in here I'm going to specify 2, and this distance I'm basically going to change it till I hit that corner on the other end. I'm going to enter 5.75, and I'm going to click OK there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this plane. I'm going to mirror this one on the other side. To do that, I'm going to go under linear pattern, and I'm going to select mirror, features to mirror. I'm going to select this, I'm going to select this, and I'm going to click OK. So this has been mirrored. So the next step that I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a fillet. Actually, a couple of fillets that I need to add. So the first fillets that I'm going to add is a fillet here. I'm going to select this edge, and I'm going to select this edge, and the dimension for this fillet is 0.4. In order to create the fillets all around here and the other places, I'm just going to press the F key. So here I could select and add the fillets, but I'm going to show you slightly different what I'm going to do here. So this is the fillet I have added. If I could simply move this fillet up here right after there, then you will see what will happen is under linear pattern, I could simply go and select this fillet feature, there. Oops. This fillet feature, and click OK. So it basically copies everything in there. So all I did, I moved this, selected this fillet, and I moved it up. So it basically covers everything in there. So that's one way of doing it. I just wanted to show you that. And now I'm going to add a fillet over here on this edge. And this fillet size is 0.5 inch. It's half an inch. So that is done. So it's I'm gonna click save here, and now I'm gonna add the last feature associated with this, and then there will be a few more fillets that probably you could add wherever you want. So I'm gonna add a simple hole on this face. 2 holes actually need to be added. And so I'm gonna basically select this. So I'm gonna select this face, and I'm gonna I'm gonna zoom in a bit, and I'm gonna click on the hole wizard. And in here, I'm gonna select the simple hole. And under here, I'm gonna specify NC inch, and here is all drill sizes, and there the size I'm gonna add is 1/4 inch, and I'm gonna just select that. And the depth of this hole is supposed to be 0.75 inches. And once I have done, then I'm basically going to position it. So I'm going to position somewhere there, and I'm gonna click OK. So this hole is added, but the positioning is not correct. So I'm gonna basically change the position as I have done in the other parts as well. I'm simply gonna go edit the sketch. So I will see the center point of this hole, so that I can use that to define the exact location. So from this edge to this one is 1 inch. From this edge to this one is supposed to be 0.625 inches. So this is the dimension that is needed, and I'm just going to simply exit the sketch. So that's where the location is going to be. Actually, I have picked the wrong edge. I apologize. I'm going to simply select this. This, I'm going to delete it. It's supposed to be measuring from the bottom, because I was just looking at the um, image. So this is going to be 1 inch. So click OK, exit sketch. Yeah, this one sounds correct. So now I'm going to use the linear pattern to copy this hole along this edge, and I'm going to change the direction this way, and I'm going to specify two instance, and then basically in here the dimension on the manual that I have specified is 1.5 inch. So it shows up there, so I'm gonna click OK. So basically this is where it is. This is more or less completes your part, but in practice you could actually add a couple more fillets as they are specified in your lab manual. I'm gonna quickly show you a couple of fillets so that that will complete this part. So to do that, I'm gonna click on oops, the wrong icon. I'm gonna click on fillet. I could just select this face, for example. I could select this face. I'm just gonna round off the some of the edges, and in here, perhaps I could select even this. Sometimes it may give me some interference, but that's okay. I'm gonna try to do as fast as I can. So the dimension for fillet, I'm gonna enter 0.05. Let's see what happens. There we go. So it's basically by selecting the faces and propagating it, you can simply add a couple more fillets to round up some of the corners. Don't round up here. On this side, I could round up some of the areas as well. I'm gonna simply go edit this if I missed anything. I could select, for example, this edge, this edge, this edge, and that's it. And I'm gonna click OK. So this basically completes your part 12.